Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Marcus, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about elephants. Not that type of elephant. This elephant is made out of data, and it's a big one. I would say it's massive, and it feels like we all are trying to ignore it, I would say, right? But it's present. It's everywhere. It is in every team planning. It is also present in every roadmap conversation. Even in the previous panel, the elephant was present, and this elephant is made of data. So here we have the elephant, and this is its outline. On one side, we have Web2, which we all know is easy, fast, convenient, but the main issue is that you're sacrificing ownership. You are risking vendor lock-in. You're also exposing yourself to potential outages and even censorship. So what's the alternative? On the other side, we have Web3 and all of its promises: decentralization, permissionlessness, trustlessness, verifiability. But Web3 was not built for data. It was built for value storage and ownership transfer. So by trying to use this as a data layer, it feels like when we're trying to build a castle out of boxes. You can do it. It is possible, but you can tell that that wasn't the purpose of the box. So when you have use cases that require complex data needs or dynamic data needs, the current solutions, they are slow. The UX, it's clunky and it's poor. And above all, it can get super expensive really fast. So until now, builders, they had to choose between convenience and control. That's the real elephant. And why this is important? Because this is not an issue that is only affecting just a couple of builders out there. AI, DeFi, gaming, IoT, I would say that every currently fast-growing vertical, they rely on data that needs to be live, that needs to be queryable. But that data today, because of the conditions, is trapped behind some centralized actor, an API, a server, a service. So Web3 builders are currently facing this, what I would like to call indexer hell, which is super ironic because you have people storing truth on chain, but they need to rely on somebody else's server for that very truth that they're storing on chain. And the current Web3 tooling around data, it's not mature enough to be able to provide a UX that enables mass adoption. And finally, for those that are like extremely brave and they want to stay in the pure Web3 lane, they are facing with the curse of forever storage. The chains get extremely bloated, costs skyrocket, and builders end up paying forever for data that was meant to live only for a specific period of time. But what if we can have both? So with ARKIV, we are letting builders get beyond this election, this choice. They don't need to sacrifice convenience for control. ARKIV Network is set to make data a first-class citizen on blockchain. And it accomplished this by being queryable by design, meaning that you don't need to rely on an indexer to be able to get to your data. You can actually query it directly. It is time scope, so you're not paying for forever storage. You're paying only for the bytes that you store and for how long you're storing them. It is deterministic in the sense that provided the same query, you will always get the same results. And it is flexible in the sense that it could be permissionless or permission. It could be trustless or trusted, depending on the use case. And it looks like like this. It's a 3-layer stack. So on the L1 layer, we have Ethereum, the bedrock that is provided security and finality. On top of that layer, we have the ARKIV network, which is a coordination layer that also acts as a gateway to where the fun things happens, the DB chains. The DB chains are purpose-built chains that act and behave like databases. And the fun thing is that you can have multiple DB chains with multiple configurations, all being coordinated by the ARKIV network. So operations like the typical CRUD, it's something that you can also perform on DB chains, but with the benefit that you have blockchain technology backing them. So data, we also need to take into consideration that data needs to be cost rational. With ARKIV, the cost scales because, like I said before, you're only paying for the information that you store it and for how long you're storing it. This makes it significantly cheaper than storing information on your typical L2, and it's far cheaper than storing information directly on Ethereum mainnet. And ARKIV uses the Golem token, GLM, as a preferred gas token to pay for this storage. But ARKIV has a multi-token approach, meaning that you can use Ethereum or the stablecoin that you have at your disposal to be able to also pay for this fee. And by doing this, this is super exciting for the GLM token because the GLM token, it's evolving from a token that was solely used for decentralized compute to also supporting data. Beyond this, ARKIV is Ethereum aligned, meaning that it is a data layer that is providing value to the whole ecosystem. It is scalable and it's inheriting Ethereum security. And in return, ARKIV introduces a burn mechanism that takes a portion of all the gas fees collected during the storage phase and burns them directly on the L1. So ARKIV isn't just built on top of Ethereum. It's built for Ethereum and wants to contribute to Ethereum. So we discussed that we have an elephant in the room. We discussed why that elephant is important, and we touch on how we think we can solve that. So some potential use cases of this technology could be having truly decentralized marketplaces, where all the contextual information that you need to run the marketplace is stored also on chain, enabling people interacting with the marketplace to verify this information. For NFTs, real-world assets, and smart contracts in general that also require some sort of metadata, ARKIV provides the ability to have mutable and dynamic metadata. This is particularly important for real-world assets, where you have assets that evolve over time, and the tokenization counterpart can also be evolving with it. For DePIN and IoT, you can store sensor raw data on ARKIV and make it immediately verifiable on time, real time, sorry. You could have open analytics where all the analytic metrics are actually available and queryable by other teams, enabling new use cases. And finally, we can have low latency data feeds that are powering Oracle's DeFi use cases and even Web2 use cases. And this is these are like the verticals that we are thinking about, but we already have teams that are building using ARKIV. And here we have some examples. So for instance, we have a POC where we took Draw.io, the diagram open source software, and we created a fork that is actually storing all the diagrams. You can actually store them on ARKIV, completely decentralized. We also partnered with Reality Metaverse, and we are powering the metadata of over hundreds of NFTs that are tokenizing buildings and landmarks across the world. And all the metadata of these NFTs is actually being stored on ARKIV. We could enable new use cases like a truly decentralized shared clipboard, where the clipboard information could be stored on ARKIV. And for gaming, with gaming, you could also do the same thing and have all the contextual information about the market or whatever other gaming information that you would have there. You could also store it in ARKIV, make it accessible to the users or perhaps other teams that want to build on top of your game. So yeah, if you want to check out more use cases, we have the usecases.archive.network URL. It's like a portfolio. That portfolio itself, it's been hosted on ARKIV. We were facing some issues with the Wi-Fi, so the VPN is recommended to be able to access that. But yeah, if you want to learn more about the potential applications of ARKIV, you can go there and check that out. But yeah, so we're approaching the end. And if you were to live with one, I would say, key highlight or a key takeaway, let it be this. That autonomy is inevitable in the sense that the next billion users will not need to choose between convenience and control. To me, the question is that when is this going to happen, and who are the teams are going to be leading this process? We already discussed how ARKIV is making the elephant move out of the room and addressing that elephant. So to me, the choice is you either own your data and you tackle the elephant head front, or you can just keep feeding the elephant and make it like just grow. The choice is up to you. Thank you. There you go. Now the